What's up, home team? Grass cutting nation out there, wherever you want to be. Lawnmower brigade. This ended up becoming almost a 2.5 weeks. The other one's gonna get just as thick, so I've been trying to knock this out at 10 days at the latest. Now it's 2 weeks. This is the thick grass. I only think the time cutter can handle this stuff. We'll see. I'm going to show you here why I use this small mower still. The side discharge on this small mower is actually stronger than that mower. It's getting around these corners. It's almost impossible with the time cutter because it doesn't turn in little tight areas that well, and on jacked up hills and stuff. So even though I can cut in there, it's actually better to do it with this and less weed whacking. And this is why you do not weed whack first on thick grass like this. Do what you want, but you're going to waste a lot of weed whacker string. You're going to blow a lot of grass everywhere. You're going to get all over everything, especially with the white vinyl. You'll get that grass everywhere. So you want to remove as much of the grass as possible and then come back. And a little bit of leftover, you can blow it off. It's not that big of a deal. I think that's why most people do the weed whacking first. And I've done that a couple of times, but on the trim yards, it's really easy. But yards like this, no. When it's overgrown, you got to cut first. And I'll show you. This is why I call this a trim mower. Alright, I had to lift it up a little bit. It was way too low. This grass is thick. You can't tell on the visual with this, but this grass is real thick. And you can see I'm having trouble just even with this trying to hug this railing, and then to jog around this flower bed that's all concrete. What do they call those blocks? The dip in this property, it goes up, down, in and out. There's a huge valley in there that you can't see. And with this all-wheel drive mower, when this thing was brand new, it was working a heck of a lot better, but these things, the belts are worn out on this, so I just gotta fix them. But see that dip right there? That dip is really hard to get, even with the 30. So, just wanted to show, different ways of doing it. I'm in a hurry, I don't do all that, but I got the mowers, might as well do it. And this mower cuts great. I mean, it's got a great look. It's a different look. It doesn't look like a homeowner cut the grass. It looks like a professional cut the grass because of the 30-inch wide swath that you get, a path. But this thing is bogging even with the side discharge. So when I went to go cut the backyard, I had to lift up one notch so it wouldn't bog and I could get the job done. So it cuts, but it can't. I mean, it's not going to work like a big walk behind or something like that. You know what I mean? You can't go through 8-9 inches of grass and just blast through it. You only take off so much. Now, if it wasn't compact, so densely, the foliage wasn't so dense like this is, then yeah, you probably could. But the grass we get here in Maryland is just thick. I mean, it's the fescules are so close together, it's like a carpet, and it's not supposed to be like that. It's just this grass is heavily fertilized. Water, there's a lot of runoff around here, so they get a lot of water, and it flourishes. This stuff is green all summer long. This particular property, I've never been on it when it was droughted, and there's no watering system on this property at all. So I don't know where it's getting water. It's strange. There's probably a freaking lake under this house. Anyway, so you get to see this time cutter in action. That was the end result. Turned out pretty good. So let's go to the back. Right here. You can see I had to lift it up to do the back. It's cutting great. This yard just turns out beautifully. Now, with this yard, I don't go back and forth. I've done it so many times that I know the path, and I can change it up a little bit. Alright, so here we go. We're going to take a the perimeter drive around the property. You're going to see how I cut and how I'll use the paths to keep crossing, intersecting with the other ones, and so I can move with the flow of the yard, and you can make the lines look nice. And it all depends how you want to do it. Sometimes I do back and forth, but I like doing the flow on this property. It comes in handy really if you're using a big walk behind, because you can't turn it around, so you want to keep moving. But the same thing with even this mower, and I'll bring footage where I actually used that 21-inch mower last year. So right there, what I was doing was getting rid of the hard, sharp corner, so I can continue to do rounded turns. And right here, I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to go down this part of the yard, so I can come up and back with this straightaway, like a fairway. And it's like cutting on a golf course, really. And just keep moving with the path and go with the flow, you know, like a mo-flow. They call me Carlo the Mo-Flow. Cut your grass. So as you can see, what we are doing is going with the flow. Basically turning the mower the way the grass wants to be cut, becoming one with the yard, you know. It's that whole peaceful grass cutting. And you can see I crossed over here so I can finish this part. I've done this yard so many times. I could just come up with patterns and plans that I'll always intersect another path and still catch that other spot. And it sometimes it's even surprises me that I get it right sometimes. Sometimes I get it wrong. But as you can see, I can plan these paths where I intersect with another part that I didn't even cut, and I line right up with it. So yeah, right there, you probably, if I wasn't talking, you would have heard the belt slipping. It slips a lot, but I don't know. Like I said, it started acting up more and more lately. There's probably grass stuck up in there, but anyway. So this is also going to be a grass cut, thick grass, okay? No bagging. And you'll see the way I cut the grass, and I go over my clippings and how I'm going to plan where the clippings go. So when I come back at the end to do the blow off, I just blow a little bit of clippings out of the way. You get no thatch. The ground absorbs it. I come back every week and a half to 2 weeks, and this ground is lusciously green, so I'm doing something right. Been doing this for 10 years now, so this yard I think I've been doing for 8 years, and I just know it like the back of my hand. So anyway, if this helps somebody out, great. If not, great. But just want to share what I do, so see what we learn as we go, you know. See the paths, how we kind of, the little figure eight I'm doing. It's almost like a figure eight. You can see how it'll keep pathing back, and then gotta make my decision. Here I cut it off. It's okay, I'm not gonna go anymore. Now, sometimes you can shoot it out to the outside, but what I'm doing is I'm doing this triangle pattern because it kind of lets off less clippings. So now that I'm done, I gotta get out of here without messing up my lines, and I'll follow the path. There was one swath that I didn't get. I got some other videos, some other plans that I've done. But so there you go. Mow, trim, and then blow. That's how it works. So now that you come back over with the trimmer, you're not taking off as much grass, and you've covered as much grass with the mowers, especially with these white vinyl fences. You really got to be careful, because if you get grass up on these things, it stains it, doesn't come off. So, and I'm moving backwards because I'm pulling the grass away from the vinyl. You cannot walk forward. This is one of these ones where you have to walk it backwards. You don't necessarily have to walk backwards, but you have to use the string going counterclockwise. So you got to pull it away, because if not, it'll just shoot that clippings all over the white vinyl, and it's not fun to get off. You can't get it off, really. You got to come back and soap it up. So there you go. There, it's all cleaned up. If I had trimmed this first, I would have been trimming through a ton of grass. So then you go back with the leaf blower and you just blow out the clippings, and you never see them. And so sit back and watch. This part's almost over. There's a lot more to this yard that I got to do. So I'm also going to trim these hedges. So it's a technique that I've developed over the years. It works. A lot of people do this. Not everybody knows about it. And yeah, that's I turned that so the hole hit me. That was on there, and it's blowing me off a little bit, cooling me off. But yeah, of course this grass likes getting blown off. Who wouldn't? So anyway, have fun. Watch this. Alright, now I've had it. I'm bringing out the case. I just imagine what the neighbors think when they see me pulling out this gun case. Oh, he's just getting out his lawn equipment. At about $200 a piece, it's worth protecting. Let me tell you, they get thrown around and broken. This has saved me from them breaking. Alright, so this is the 525 LK combi. I'm putting on the hedge trimmer, and gonna go ahead and do these hedges really quick. They turn out phenomenal. I was not expecting them to turn out as well as they did, and I patted myself on the back. Alright, so I'm dealing with a busted elbow. I think I got tennis elbow or something. It really hurts. So this is how I do it. I just use my body and lock my arm in, and that's how I get my level. This thing cuts like butter. I mean, I tell you what, it's not built as heavy duty as like the Echo, but does the job, man. I'm telling you, it cuts like butter. I think it cuts clean. And take a look. Just watch what I don't know if am I doing the work or is the tool doing the work. So I'm gonna fast forward some of this so this video's not 20 minutes long. So hey, if you're this far into it, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. If you like me, you like watching it getting done. It's just satisfying. Wait till you see how this turns out. I'll have to explain why it turns out the way it does. But let's take a look at this. Now right here, I'm actually going to bend the angle and angle it up so I can get closer to the shrubs without my body being in the way. And you'll see. It's self-explanatory, so take a look. There you go. And right here, I'm trimming the bottoms. A lot of people forget this, and it's something that I recently learned in the last couple of years, and it really makes a difference.
Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. It's so icy, icy, icy on my neck combination. 새로운가 같이 머리 sway 남들이 잘 때도 쓸어담지. Breaking good, life is good. 한동안 잊었어 이 느낌을. For better life, for better love. 이제는 나도 두 배 벌어. I don't give a fuck, who should give a fuck. 요즘 애들이 병신놀이 하는 거. No one give a fuck. Take care of a house. 쓸어담아 다 나이 먹었어. 후회하지 않아 나요. Let's be straight enemies. Let's both take it cardio. Terminate, 조카가 마셔서 그들은 주제를 알아매요. Making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. 필요해도 많은 시간 살 돈이 섣불리 시작해서 이제 밥벌이 랩스타일 비슷해 내 스타일 비슷해 고마워 네 관심은 passion이 맞춤에 없는 매일에는 정중히 인사 드려볼 일 없어 우리 pardon me 미국이 마시기 전에 차린 정신 두 배나게 미쳐버린 게 도전이란 타이밍에 all like a launcher get the shot go free throw 나는 몸만 하면 get the ball go 변한 건 없어 don't like a full bro 좀 달라 보여 그거 벗겨진 색안경 논탱이였던 놈 이제 벌어더러 one curse 바꾸어 cash rules everything around me 유명세는 떠나가자 fuck that love.
Alright, so now it looks like a dashboard on a 1970 Plymouth Fury or something. Looks like actually my Silverado's with that rounded curve. It looks like a dashboard. Look at that. This is where the car door slides into it. The curve where your foot goes under. So I had a chunk in there. I had to get rid of the chunk. So to make a square is the hardest thing to do because you have to have enough foliage, and there wasn't enough in there, and I didn't have my extension poles. I couldn't get down the side clean. I had to turn it over. And so also don't forget the bottoms. See, I used to forget the bottoms, thinking that they would grow in. They won't grow in, so you just gotta cut them, and it looks better to do that than to try to let it grow in, because it'll actually grow in healthier if you keep cutting the bottoms, because it actually grows when you cut it. It'll grow on its own, but if you cut it, it actually aggravates it to grow more. And with bushes, they actually split off. Just like on the tree, the branch will go up, and then if you cut it, it'll actually split twice or 3 times, because it's trying to overcompensate for the loss. So every time you cut a bush, it splits. That's why when you do rose bushes, you go down to the V's, and that's where you cut it, because it'll V again and keep cutting it. So there you go. That's this whole yard. So.
Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone, flexing, I've been swerving, make it trendy, we look sexy. Here we go, making really on, getting icy zone.
How you like that cinematography? Had a flyby, paid a lot of money to get a helicopter to make that shot.